So the history was that Peter had founded the company. He was working in together with Håkan Osander, actually the big brother of Andreas Osander, now our VP Sales Enterprise. And together with Mikael Johansson and Torbjörn and Peter Emanuelsson, they were sharing an office doing web development, web design, and software development. So more or less the same stuff that I was doing. So I was actually joining in with them, moving in with them.
Well, I went in the same class as Peter Johansson. So he knew I had a consultancy contract, and he also wanted someone to bring in money to the company. So he persuaded me to start working for him. At the same time, I could take care of the internal IT environment and bring in the money.
It actually all started a few years back when I was in this computer club together with Mikael Olsson. And the club had, at that time, as a few in Sweden, gotten access to a fixed internet connection. So that was early on. This is 1994 time. So we needed to find some way of getting a router to get the true internet connection. And we couldn't afford it, obviously. It was expensive gear at the time. So at one late evening, I was telling Mikael, partly as a joke, partly seriously, how hard can it be? Of course, again, naive and youth, it was hard. But one weekend later, and a few takeaway Max burgers later, Mikael had a fully working IP router stack running from a floppy disk.
In 2 days, I had the basics there where you could just get packets in and out. And then over the course of the next week, where I basically just coded, ate, and slept, I had something that turned into an actual firewall.
So we started packaging this new product and literally had really no clue what we were doing, apart from that we needed a neat box. We needed, of course, at that time a CD-ROM. We needed a printed manual. It's still around in the office to see. We had heard that the way of taking a product like this to the market is through a channel, meaning distributors and resellers, and eventually to the end customer. So at that time, there were no Google, there were barely Alta Vista search engines. So we picked up the traditional physical yellow pages and started looking for system integrators, Stockholm area. We packed our car and we drove down. And we had not too much money, obviously, to spend, so we shared hotel rooms, slept in a car now and then, and decided to meet up with one of the biggest European distributors, Ingram Micro. We interrupted a meeting they had with Microsoft. They were a bit overwhelmed by us coming there, just interrupting. And they told us flat out, this is interesting, but guys, you need a reseller first. At that time, Lap Power was one of the most different resellers with a very outspoken pair of owners and founders. We went there, we said, here's the Swedish alternative for security. Do you like it? And they said, yeah, sure. We'd like to take you on board, guys, but there is a but. You need an end customer first. So we took the car back to Övik and looked around us and saw, okay, what type of customers do we have here? And after a while, we managed to get this product into the metropolitan area network, the city network, fiber optic network that was built by the municipality at that time. And we got the product into the hands of BAE Systems. So with those 2 customer references, we could take the journey back to Stockholm, set up a reseller agreement with LabPower, and then we signed a pan-European contract with Ingram. And that was more or less unheard of. A totally no-name Swedish brand setting up a distribution contract with the biggest pan-European distributor. So that's how it started, how we really got the product out on the market the first time.
But of course, the CityNet was an excellent test bed for the router or /firewall. We could put it in the infrastructure in the CityNet to test different things. And our first customer, I think, also was a customer of the CityNet.
It was huge to see that we could take this little floppy disk essentially and pull it into a standard kind of PC server and manage to essentially break records with it.
And of course, we knew that our competitors out there, it was Cisco and it was Checkpoint, although Checkpoint weren't that big at that time. But we knew we were up against giants. But winning customers after customers, seeing that they choose us, they chose a little Swedish company up in the northern part over these American companies, it started building confidence. And that's really where I think still today, we're all understanding that we are up against much bigger competitors. But as we get more prestigious customers, as we sign up more customers, we feel that this is something special.
I mean, first of all, a company that is 20 years old is not the same company. It's a company that reinvents itself every now and then. And even if you're sick and tired of it sometimes, it only lasts for a few seconds, then there's something positive happening, some new challenge that needs to be addressed, and it's a new company almost every day.
It's still a family.